And welcome everyone here to tonight's game. CEVO-Main Season 4 kicking off tonight with the best of three between two fantastic teams in the North American and South American scenes. Denial Esports going up against Swagenteiger. I'm Helium Brelin and I'm joined by Chicago Ted.
Hey guys, just a quick note that this is our kickoff English cast, so of course, with doesn't need to be said, but go ahead, go down to the DOTA TV, get a ticket if you like what you see, as always, and I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to this game.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. There was a bit of a delay, so apologies for that. Big shout out to everyone joining us here on twitch.tv/playcevo1. If you're already watching in game, make sure to head over to the stream. Should be easy to find as the band's coming out. So the very scary updated Invoker that does like to go Quas Wex going to get banned out here, and then of course I will never get to see a game. They're going to ban out the Ember Spirit as well. They should, going up against Whitebeard, who had a pretty incredible game on the hero.
I'm going to tell you right now, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, if you had come up to me and said, oh, well, Invoker and Ember Spirit are going to be first ban in a couple weeks, I would have laughed in your face, kicked dirt in your face, and then walked away. I am now eating my words from my past self, as this is kind of amazing to me. The Quaswex Invoker has just hit his stride so well in the competitive scene, and Ember Spirit hit the ground running like you cannot believe.
Yeah, well, I agree with you with what your statement there about Invoker, about Ember Spirit, but only in the sense that I didn't think Ember Spirit was going to be added. I knew once he was going to be added, I think he was going to be pretty terrorizing, or teams just wouldn't want to play against him. Essentially, you get your big items up in the later game when there's a lot of creep or team fight. You press W a couple times. You can't even be targeted. Like, what can you do against that unless you get the jump on Ember?
Well, that's the issue, though. If you do end up getting targeted, like, after your Sleight of Fist, it's got a decent cooldown until you can do it again, and your escape costs a good chunk of mana. So, I mean, after a certain amount of time, if they lock you down, Ember Spirit just doesn't do well when he takes any sort of focus fire. Which is why he's got a good escape. But
doesn't the cooldown on Sleight of Fist decrease while you're in it, though?
It could, but it's still a decent cooldown.
So if you're hitting enough things, you're going to get out of it, and you're going to have a very low cooldown. You can just go
okay,
right back
I doubt. Well, maybe if there's a Brood Mother or...
Yeah, so I'm saying. It's the Brood Mother counter. Not that she's going to be picked up. Or, you know, Treant's Necronomicon units. A lot of that's, you know, pretty
a couple of
hot.
And it's like an Earthshaker, except constantly.
Anyways,
I don't know.
We've got a Nyx Assassin banned out, a Slark banned out, pretty annoying heroes. Swagenteiger basically taking out the Nyx just so they can first pick that Nature's Prophet, as we see there. Denial going to go with Visage, that aggressive support, and Storm Spirit.
Yeah, so Slark is just one of those heroes that not many teams like to play with, so he's going to be seeing a lot of, or play against rather, so he's going to be seeing a lot of hate in the first or second ban phase. But Swag, they're revealing their Nature's Prophet early, which could or could not be a bad thing. It depends on how they go along with this draft, but he's still a decent hero. I mean, we saw Alliance pick him up again earlier today, so that was fun. But Enchantress taken as well, but Visage Storm Spirit, this is interesting coming out from Denial, and I don't think I've watched these guys enough to know who's playing which one or how good they are, but Visage is a very nice hero to have, a very nice hero to play with, and Storm Spirit, they amount to some really good burst damage in a gank attempt.
Yeah, the Storm Spirit's going to be pretty key to shutting down that Nature's Prophet once he starts that split pushing, as the Lifestealer is going to be taken out here, so no Lifestealer, Nake's Bomb online. And the OD is also going to be taken out because, well, I guess there's no Nyx Assassin to pick up for the mana burn later on in the game. That's also still an annoying hero, and I'm excited to see Swagenteiger. They get the Enchantress, which is a hero that I know they're very skilled with because it's always banned when they play, and I don't think I've ever seen them play it. So I'm pretty excited that it got through. They were able to scoop it up as some more bans coming out.
Yeah, so I mean, the Outer Devour does very well versus the Storm Spirit as well. I mean, you know, that counter-intelligence thing that he's got going on, as well as a DK. I ate my words a while ago when I said that DK should, Storm Spirit should win the lane versus DK. No, DK actually turns out to be very strong versus this hero. So both of them being taken out to make Storm Spirit's job a lot easier. The Murata's coming out, but that Lifestealer ban, I really like it, because a tri-lane with a Visage and a Lifestealer is automatically, well, 9 times out of 10, a 1 tri-lane. Whereas if you add the Storm Spirit into the mix, it just becomes absolutely scary. So I'm really glad they picked that or took that out, just because it gives Swagenteiger an actual chance in this game.
Yep, well, they've got the Murana. We'll see what they want to try to set up the stuns with. I guess they've got the Vortex from Storm. Yeah, I mean, this Murana could be a carry, it could be a support. Denial hasn't quite revealed that. I would expect it to be more of a carry. It's one of the more popular carries in the 6.8 patch. So looking for one more to set that up. Maybe a Bane, pretty much, or not a Bane, excuse me, maybe a Shadow Demon, as Bane was just picked up there by... They took out an eye. It used to be Swagenteiger, so now it's just Swagenteiger? That sounds easier to say.
Yeah, you know, it was actually... There was an eye in the match page when I looked at it, so... That's really confusing me, but
it's gone. It's gone on the match page, so I believe it's just Swagenteiger now.
They have a few options for Denial Esports. They can either grab the Rubik, which is a great setup for the Murana Arrow, or they can grab the Shadow Demon. Now they can go unconventional. They can pick up another stun, like maybe a Vengeful Spirit, maybe an Ogre Magi, like one of those unconventional ones that you don't see too often, you don't play against too often. But as for reliability, I mean, I think the Rubik and I think the Shadow Demon are the two most reliable that you can go with something that will set up the Murana stun. Now, the Bane isn't the most reliable, which is sometimes why teams opt not to go for him, but most of the time they go for Bane because of the amazing skill set he has on top of the Nightmare that sets up the arrow. So Swagenteiger deciding they do not want to have to deal with the Bane, they're going to go ahead and pick him up. And I'm not sure that's because they were out of bans or because they actually want him. Either way, he's a strong hero, and Denial Esports are looking for their second support if they decide to go Murana carry.
Yeah, well, the Bane's going to be really nice against that Storm Spirit. You've got that sleep into the Fiend's Grip, so you do have the potential to lock down Storm, even when he's getting scary in the late game, even with his Orchid. Unless he decides to jump on Bane, which is really their only source of lockdown at the moment. Denial, though, they're just going to go ahead and pick up that Doom, so it looks like they could get away with a duo lane, could be even an off-lane Murana, safe lane Doom, jungling Doom. The hero's very versatile. He doesn't give away your lineup too much. As we'll see how they want to work that in. Swagenteiger going now over for their fourth pick.
Yep, so yeah, as you mentioned, Doom, a really strong hero to have. And, you know, I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to lane this, to be honest. I mean, Doom, as I've seen, is a very strong mid-hero, but he's also a decent farmer. I don't think I've seen him too much in the offlane. I don't think I've seen him too much in the jungle. So they could decide to run a Storm Spirit in the offlane and have the Doom take mid with Murana, Visage, and some other lane. But I'm really interested to see how they're going to round out their draft. Meanwhile, Swagenteiger, they're picking up the puck. They know exactly what they're doing. We know exactly what they're doing. So a little bit more predictable. But Denial, you know, I can see multiple ways that this draft is going to go.
Radiant team pick.
Indeed. So we've got the Crystal Maiden and the Luna were the last banouts there for both teams. And Denial going to go for a Disruptor right now. They've got the Nature's Prophet that they're going to want to send back when team fights start. Or just anyone TPing in to send them back. Or to catch Puck, as Puck is going to jaunt away to the Illusory Orb. So Disruptor's very strong support since its recent buffs, the Aghanim Scepter potential, the AoE Doom, and you got a Doom.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. We'll see if Denial gets out to an early lead this game. Maybe Disruptor goes straight for an Axe. But the Puck and the Spectre.
I've seen this a lot today, and you know, Spectre is quite literally or next to Medusa my favorite carry.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I love playing PvE. Like, that is my role in pubs. I play PvE and I win games after 50 minutes. That is my thing. But no,
I mean, I like Spectre too, but the Medusa, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Just ignore that. Let's get on with this. Spectre is honestly one of my favorite carries because of her skill set. The disruption or the oh my god, dispersion.
The Desolate.
Dispersion is really great at making her survivable in the mid to late game. I mean, not too much early. I mean, it saves her from a little bit of harass early, especially when paired with something like a Stout Shield. But the Desolate is the big thing for the early game. That is 65 bonus pure damage. A little bit of a malfunction from our stats guy. We'll
I noticed.
But that is 65 pure damage. And that radius, that 325 radius, is not that big. So you can really pick apart various heroes that they're just not expecting to take that extra bit of damage. And it's incredible once she hits level 6, if she's got 3 points, 2 points up in Desolate, heroes melt, and they melt fast. The Spectral Dagger is a decent nuke. You know, the extra movement speed, the good amount of damage, although not entirely impressive. I mean, she's got a great skill set that goes throughout the game, and I'm so surprised that teams decide now to start looking at her rather than when she's always been really strong.
Yeah, she's been popping up every now and again in the last couple of balance patches. But let's take some time before the game gets going. The horn sounds to introduce the teams. Over on the Dire, we've got Swagenteiger Ned playing that Enchantress here in the Dire jungle, of course. We'll see how he does on that. Swagenteiger, I know they like the hero. Don't get to see them play it all that much. Tavo, meanwhile, with a really cool staff in the offlane on this Nature's Prophet. Puck, going to be handled by 4DR. Previously, Lelouch v Britannia there in the mid lane on the Puck. Up top supporting, it's going to be King RD on the Bane, and apparently Tom's favorite player and hero, Klotz22, on the Spectre.
Well, we haven't decided favorite player just yet. If this game goes well, it might very well be. All right, so for Denial, on the other side of the river real quick, we got Dragon Fist picking up the mid as the Storm Spirit. It's going to be laned on the Mirana, and the off lane matched up with Exiled, playing the Visage. In the safe lane, it is going to be the Disruptor Defect. And last but not least, what I was least expecting, Whitebeard playing the Jungle Doom.
Well, that makes sense. There's a jungling Enchantress on the other side of things for Swagenteiger, and if that Enchantress, whatever lane Enchantress goes to push...
he might be in lane.
Yeah, he's kind of doing both, I think, just to maximize. They can get the levels up on Defect. He can farm a little bit when Whitebeard can go back into the jungle. I think he just wanted the Envenomed Weapon or whatever creep were there, but... anytime Enchantress comes to push a lane, Whitebeard can just rotate and devour those creep and make it really hard for Swagenteiger to push early.
Envenomed Weapon, 2 damage per second, you know, taking a little bit of its toll. They are going to go on Travo in the bottom lane, but he's going to get away from the kinetic field, and that shouldn't be too much more of an issue for him.
Alright, my camera controls, maybe just because I haven't touched Dota in a couple days, they feel so fast, but they're set. Looking at the mid lane, so this is not... it's a pretty even lane, I would say. Maybe Puck even a bit favored in the matchup, just because never has to get close to get to the static remnants to take that damage. It has the silence capabilities for if Storm ever overcommits at level 6. But we've got Dragon Fist. He's taking a little bit more damage, but he's got more CS. 6 and 3 to 4 and 3, still fairly even. So we'll see how it goes.
Now it's going to shift towards the mid lane, but when a Centaur dies, he kind of can't do anything. He's actually going to find Exiled, or if Exile's going to find him, he's going to back right onto the jungle. A little bit unfortunate on the timing of that Centaur. If he had been able to keep it alive, then he might have been able to make a go on Dragon Fist, as stuns really mess up a Storm Spirit in the early game. So he's just going to have to back off for now. He's actually got the Summoner, so he has a net if he wants to try again, but he's going to have to wait for another smoke.
Yeah, it's still going to be hard to kill this Mirana. She does have that leap up. She skilled it either first or second. Has it at level 2 is the important part. But here comes King RD on the backside of things. They're going to go on to Exiled. He's the one without the escape. Lane tries to toggle off the Nightmare, but it's not going to work out too much damage. Exiled will go down. That's Klotz22 on the Spectre. Going for that max Spectral Dagger build, it looks like. That early laning damage, more so than the Desolate. And over to the mid lane, 4DR and some trouble out of mana will take the Orb, and he's going to be alright.
Yeah, nice orb timing for him. Using up that mana, which, I mean, the fact that he had enough mana for it is some pretty decent mana control on his part. But, yeah, getting away from that, which is a very good play by him. But up in the top lane, you know, I can honestly say, wait, hold on, bottom. Are they going to be able to get him? They're going to pull him right back with Glimpse. He's going to try to get the teleport. He should be able to get out. I would imagine maybe we see a level death early just to stop that in the later portions of the game, but probably not. But yeah, going back to Spectre, the max Spectral Dagger build, you know, I honestly think she's getting that 1-point dispersion with the Stout Shield for the reasons I mentioned, just because of that 10% damage reflect, plus the Stout Shield is going to make her near unharassable. But 2 points in the Spectral Dagger, that's 100 damage, that's pretty decent, with the 9% movement speed bonus. But I think from here on out, Desolate is going to be her way to go, just because it's so good coming into the 10-minute mark and beyond when she starts thinking about her level 6 and thinking about trying to find kills across the map, which is really what Spectre does. She doesn't flash farm, she finds kills, she farms heroes. So that's probably going to be the direction she's going.
Alright, well I see some pings up in the top lane. I think Exile knows that Ned is there on the Enchantress looking for the gank, so they're being pretty cautious. Lane can stay out fairly far. He does have that leap away. Storm Spirit bottles up that double damage, and good timing on this rune because he's going to hit level 6 pretty shortly before he has to use the rune, or he'll just use it right now to, I guess, dominate the lane a little bit. I thought there was maybe more of a kill opportunity, but up top, Desolate attacks onto lane. The Morana in a lot of trouble. Klotz with that extra move speed going in. Salve going to be cancelled, and looks like Spectre with the dispersion there perhaps going to pick up that kill. That's Bane actually killed him because he put the damage, or no, whoever attacked Klotz 22, I guess the damage reflecting off the tower, yeah, just killed them with the AoE.
I guess I should have mentioned this probably because I didn't quite think of it at the time. But yeah, dispersion's good at that. If you start taking tower damage, not only are you going to get a mitigated amount, but that's actually a good chunk of damage that's getting reflected.
That Soul Assumption too came in and just did enough damage. It just took laned out.
Plus, you know, the Desolate, that 20 pure damage is just nothing to scoff at. I tell you, the only time that Spectre isn't truly effective is at about 20 to 30 minutes when she's out of her early game skill set, or her skill set being good early game, and starts trying to transition into becoming an item using a 6-slotted carry. That's the only time when she seems ineffective, and now she's going to be gone on, but that's not a long enough stun to do anything. The glimpse, though, is there. Disruptor, Defect, rotating in, getting that kill, and, well, that was a great rotation by the Disruptor.
Indeed, showing the power of Glimpse. It's also going to be good for that Spectre because they've got that Thunderstrike. That's going to give that 6-second duration of vision wherever Spectre runs through the trees, so they can glimpse her back. Pretty wise pickup. I think the Spectre came after that, though, so maybe Swagenteiger not quite thinking that.
Wasn't Disruptor... Oh, yeah, Disruptor was the last pick, but so was Spectre. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Spectre was the 10th pick. Disruptor was the 9th, so... I mean, that's not something you would really think about or is really going to matter. I mean, every hero is going to have a couple counters. I wouldn't say Disruptor is the counter to Spectre by any means, but it's something to think about in this game. As we've got a smoke gank up here, Ned and King RD with the Satyr, which is going to run out right about now, so not going to be involved in this gank. But they do have that Centaur Conqueror. The smoke runs out, so they know that Exiled is here. It's nighttime vision. Can Bane get in range? There's Moran. He's got to watch out for this arrow. He's going to go ahead and sleep Exile, but I think they're just going to back off of that. There was a Wildkin picked up as well by Ned. It's going to channel up the Tornado. They don't really have a stun for it unless they want to arrow it, but probably not going to use it. I hear TP's up to the top lane. Puck has arrived. Cloth 22 gonna dive in. Wrath of Nature goes out. The ultimate. The Haunt Defect in trouble. They need to group actually on the side of Denial so you don't take that Desolate damage, but not doing it there, so they will lose one and perhaps going to lose their tower as a result.
Well, they did rotate now, the Nature's Prophet, and there's a 5-man push. If they don't get the tower, they really failed this push. So I imagine it's going to go down, and, you know, there's nothing really to stop it. Basically, what Denial wants to do is they want to give this tower, you know, they earned it. They moved 5 heroes in. They got the kill off of it. It's not worth defending. They'd much rather split up, get the farm on the various different heroes, try to get an experience advantage, and to try to counterbalance that little bit of gold disadvantage they lost, and just kind of play from there. I mean, everything's got to be a trade when you play the game of Dota, and trading experience for gold, that does work.
Indeed it does, especially in the early game. You could argue experience a little bit more important, but looking at, I guess, the gold, maybe just the last hits for now. We got Whitebeard here on the Doom. Not a lot of action is hidden in his lane besides the 1 kill attempt on Nature's Prophet. He sits at 0-0-0 on the KDA, but 45... Oh, I can't read. 47 and 5 for the last hits denies. It's going to be Storm Spirit also on the side of Denial, leading in farm in that mid lane. He's 41 and 14 compared to the Puck at just 22 and 6. So yeah, they're giving up some kills. They've lost the tower, but Storm picks up that regen rune. Could go for a kill here on Puck, and yes, leading the last hit charts pretty nicely. Then we've got Klotz 22 at 37 and 9, but he's got tower gold and 3 kills, so he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, Dragon Fist was playing really conservatively right there. He could have gone in on the Puck. Puck was out of orb for 16 seconds, was out of phase shift for another 3. So if he had popped that regen and just dove straight in, he probably could have picked up a kill if Puck wasn't quick on the silence. But bottom lane, actually, they might go for another kill on the Tavo. They use a Doom there, but the kinetic field already holding them in place. There is the Dream Coil. There's going to be a return kill. It's going to be the Disruptor going in. And Whitebeard actually cancels up his TP. He wants to stay in the fight for good reason. Here comes Dragon Fist, pulling in the Bane, not even using the pull. Bane just kind of walking around the trees. It ends up being a 2-for-1 and a couple of rotations and used TPs.
Nicely done. Lane actually almost went down to the top lane to that Spectre haunt. But he's good. He's still farming up. And back to that play in the mid lane, Dragon Fist. There were 3 people missing on the map, so I think with the tier 1 still up, he was a little scared to go in. And, well, he puts the regen rune to great effect down there in the bottom lane, turning that gank around. So it's a good thing he didn't waste it and try to kill the puck, because they got a little more out of it in the end anyways. And good sense by Whitebeard to cancel that TP, stay in the lane, get the kills, or the XP from the kills. Yeah, he gets a kill and an assist. He's picking up a ton of gold. He skips the Midas, maxing out Devour and Scorched Earth. Almost has a mechanism. He has a mechanism.
Yeah, I like when Doom skipped Midas. It just seems redundant on this hero. I mean, Midas is good on Doom if you're looking to get level advantage and gold advantage, but a Doom that farms effectively and that rotates around the map to make use of his Doom, which should always be on cooldown, that's going to be a Doom that outdoes the one that AFK farms in the jungle with a Midas. So getting that early mech is going to help his team fight, and it's going to really make Denial a lot stronger in most of these fights. Meanwhile, mid lane, Puck ends up pulling down the Storm Spirit. That I didn't expect.
Yeah, they did smoke up for that, coming over with a Nightmare. And looking at that stat thrown up there, I find that hard to believe that a Doom hasn't picked up a mechanism yet in 6.8, but I guess it hasn't been out all that long, so people still experimenting with different builds. But I'm a big
Doom that often, actually.
Yeah, that's true. I do love the whole mech, Mana Boots, Vlad's, just the aura strat Doom, because you do bring around usually the aura of another creep with you as well. As here's a Moonlight Shadow initiation from Denial, as they look to get somebody off guard. They do have that glimpse, and checking out the levels on Disruptor, it's 2 points in glimpse. It's pretty decent range. He's going to move forward. They try to find Bane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's he going to go back to? Around this area. Yep. They're going to pull him back. Nicely done. He nightmares himself, but he still gets sent back. And he will be brought down. The Soul Assumption for the Visage. Exiled going to pick up that kill. Bringing the kills. 6-4. 2-kill advantage for Swag.
Yeah, well, at this point in the game, 2-kill advantage is not all that impressive. I mean, it does amount to a pretty decent golden XP, but it's only about 500 right now. And they're going to go straight in on Ned. There's a haunt. The Doom, they use everything for that one. And it looks like this fight's still going on by the Tier 1 tower. We saw the Wrath of Nature come through. There is the Static Storm, but it's not really connecting on anyone. Meanwhile, Tavo taking a lot of damage. Whitebeard could get the kill. He does get the kill.
That crit.
Taking a damage from 3. Here comes Lane. He's going to run in the trees, but when you do that versus Spectre, you're going to have a bad time. And then he's going to get cleaned up. Puck, the one to take the kill, making that a 4-for-1 exchange. And now the 2-kill advantage doubles.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they've got the burst damage to take that Enchantress out so quickly, but when they use their Doom like that, they've got nothing else when the counter initiation. I'm not sure they needed to Doom that Enchantress, to be honest. I think they could have just jumped on her, killed her, then still had the Doom. And of course, when you whiff your Static Storm, it's never really going to end too well. So, Defect not placing that one very adequately.
I'm not going to lie, going into that fight, I completely forgot who was which team. And I was seeing everything go flying around. And that could just be that I'm running on very little fuel right now. But you know a game is good when you lose track of which spells are which. Because it means a lot are being thrown out at once, and team fights are hectic as all hell. So, very nice, very nice. I'm liking this game already.
Well, it always makes it hard when you've got heroes like Spectre, that as soon as the team fight starts and you're keeping tabs on it, then boom, there's illusions everywhere. It can get a little hectic. And speaking of that, we've actually got a smoke up here, so they take an unfortunate sort of team fight loss in the mid lane. They go straight onto Tavo, looking for him here. Dragonfist going to continue to jump onto the tower. At least they force out a TP, and I think they're going to back out after that, but Whitebeard already has Doom back up. It is only a 100 second
Wait, they forced
cooldown.
out the TP, but they glimpsed it straight back. Are they going to reinitiate onto the on the Nature's
They very well could. There goes Dragonfist. Tavo, I think one more overcharge attack should do it in conjunction with the Thunderstrike, giving him the vision at nighttime, because normally he wouldn't have been able to see that far. So a pretty nice spell between the two heroes there. But there's a Dream Coil dropped on 2. Static Storm going to be a little more effective, as well as the Doom. Klotz, though, onto a killing spree as he's going to haunt back into this fight. This fight goes even so far, 2-for-2. But I don't think they're done yet. King RD could be in some trouble, going to be chased down. Arrow to connect from downtown. Didn't even see it coming in, to be honest, as Whitebeard going to pick up that one.
Well, neither did he. That's why it hit.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow, that was a fight, and I mean it was a great glimpse at the start to really make the initiation onto Nature's Prophet possible, but really what sealed the deal was the fact that they just kind of had a lot of sustain in that fight. You know, with the mechanism on the Doom we talked about, he's got the Wildkin aura, the Pack Leader, aura already, which skyrockets his damage. It is absolutely incredible how much damage he's doing and he's outputting. I mean, already 318 damage crits coming out from this guy, so the sustain is there. The damage is there. All they need to do is get in the good teamfight positions, and you know, even if that wasn't the best teamfight position, they still were able to sustain and make a trade that they are willing to take.
Yeah, and he's got a plate mail on that Doom, the Whitebeard that is, so it looks like he is going to go straight for an AC, potentially for a Shiva's, but you know, I gotta expect it's going to be the AC for a little bit more pushing power
Shivas,
here.
To be honest.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess just
when
to
you've
fight
got
the
a
Spectre.
Spectre and a Enchantress who rely on attack speed to output their damage, I mean, the AC would just be so good.
Yeah, well, or no, you mean the Shivas would be good.
Yeah, Shivas, my god.
Yeah, AC is going to make up for a little bit of their lack of pushing. Marana's doesn't look to be going for a Desolator yet, so it's going to be a little while before that. We'll see.
Yeah,
I can see
it's
both.
Entirely situational. I mean, yeah, they both function really well, but it depends on what they're going for. Are they going for team fight sustain, or are they going? Well, even AC is good for team fight sustain, but or are they going for push? And I mean, there's going to be actually.
They found Ned.
Yeah, but he's going to escape narrowly. He's going to sprink away, and there is no glimpse to pull him back. So.
Oh, here comes the initiation. Dragon Fist so low. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Wrath of Nature coming through. Tavo is actually going to get a double kill off of that Wrath of Nature. Didn't even have to be there. Now Spectre haunting in to go for defect. Going to get glimpsed back, but it doesn't matter. Tavo teleporting forward aggressively, picking up the triple kill off of that. They're even going to get the birds. Ned, of course, on the Enchantress with that pure damage. Fantastic at killing familiars.
Swag just unleashed the double-barreled shotgun on that fight. I mean, that was a 1-2 punch I didn't even see coming. I blinked and missed it. It was Puck going in with a Dream Coil, and the Wrath of Nature comes through, and 3 just instantly die.
Yeah, they've got a lot of burst damage. That's some sneaky burst damage you wouldn't really expect it. Same goes for both teams, really, to catch you out in engagements.
The arrow
you don't want to be
on
in.
Tavo, and he actually
nicely
goes
done.
down. That was a weird arrow. He saw it coming, but he juked the wrong way.
And Ned now in a lot of trouble. Was doomed up by Whitebeard. Dragon Fist can use his entire mana pool to catch up on that one. So a couple people die there in the previous engagement. The triple kill from Tavo's Nature's Prophet, but they do clean him up. It goes 2 for 3 at the end of the day off of that. Still better for Swagenteiger. You know, they're dominating the map. They're going to get done. They've got more of the global lineup here, so of course we might expect that. When Denial, though, grouped as 5, they're definitely still in fighting shape this game. And looking at the gold graph, it's really close. Only 1,000 advantage and a 4,000 advantage XP for Swagenteiger, and it's going back towards equilibrium.
So I don't know if you were watching, but the Seed Newless game versus For Sweet Revenge earlier today featured a draft really similar. And by really similar, I mean there was a Nature's Prophet, a Spectre on the same team against a Doom. And the Doom actually won out. It was actually a Doom and a Storm Spirit on the same team. They won out just because they had a lot better positioning. And the Doom, who is widely known as the anti-carry, he's actually going to go for the Shiva's Guard. So, not a boo-boo.
You win this battle, Chicago Ted.
Either way, but the Doom is going to be able to anti-carry the Spectre pretty efficiently. I don't know if Doom disables Dispersion. I don't know if it disables the Desolate, but hold on. Bottom lane, it's going to be Puck going to go down to the Disruptor, Defect, picking up that kill. And now here comes the Wrath of Nature. Holy damage, Batman.
Yeah, it's doing quite a bit, especially when it's hitting all of the heroes there on the last blast. But here they are sticking around. Klotz 22. He's got his Relic right now, so any kill is going to send him back even further. Blinking forward, or rather, you know, Ball Lightning forward. Going to pick up the Haster, and this is going to help him out. I don't think he's going to use it to go chase Klotz, which they maybe could have. Puck is still dead, and he's really the only one that they can't counter-initiate into. And am I on crazy pills, or does the Roche Pit look entirely different right now?
They changed the lighting.
Okay, so I'm not on crazy pills. It's very bright.
This is if you actually look across the map, there's a lot more color, and like you know the red leaves and the trees in the dire side that you see right there,
Yeah.
those are new. They used to be dead trees. They changed a lot of the lighting. They added a bunch more depth, and I don't know if a bunch is the right.
Is this still? Oh, New Bloom is completely gone.
Yeah,
here.
New Bloom's over. That was the update that just came
Where's
out.
the offering at? Is what I want to know.
You know, it might have been collected.
It hasn't been. I just checked right before this game.
Yeah.
I'm very upset.
You're right. I've got 4 chests in there. I'm not expecting much.
4 chests. You're gonna get another chest back.
I don't really care at this moment.
That'd
I
be
have
so
4
funny.
chests.
I have like
up.
500 items in there.
How the hell did you farm up 500 items? And
Yeah, I was in the beta since like week 2, so.
okay, I was like a month or a month and a half before beta ended, so okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, items weren't in since the start. But anyway, we're digressing pretty dramatically.
It's Farm Fest right now.
Yeah, well, Roshan did go to Dragon Fist here on Denial. That's the Storm Spirit. So they've got that at their disposal. They can be pretty hyper-aggressive with that if they want to. But for the most part, it looks like it is going to be a Farm Fest. The Shivas was picked up. Ned is working towards a mechanism for their team because, of course, Whitebeard already has one on the Doom, as well as the Shivas. And it looks like we both win because he's got another plate mail, and he's going to go for an AC with that.
Well, yeah, we both win because, you know, we're in America, everyone wins. But
is that our motto? I was unaware.
At the same time, it's half expected that you're going to go for both because they are both so amazing. So amazing versus any carry that relies on auto attack. Because not only are you reducing their movement speed and attack speed, movement speed on the active, but actually, yeah, movement speed on the active, but you're also making them hit softer. So if Doom is the anti-carry, but with a Shiva's Guard and Assault Cuirass, he is that much more of an anti-carry. And we're probably going to see Spectre start to really struggle when trying to fight up against this Doom or fight up against anyone on Denial's lineup at all. And actually, Spectre gone Radiance and Vanguard. You know, Vanguard Spectre was really popular. I'm not sure why this is a new build, but Radiance and Vanguard at a 21 minutes, which given her for her death earlier on, I mean, that's pretty quick. But then I look at her score; she's 5-1-6. So.
Yeah, I think the only reason she got the Vanguard, I mean, yes, it's a great item, it's even better on Spectre, but a lot of people were just going towards the phase drums, but in the last couple patches, the drums recipe is more expensive, it's deterring some people from picking up that item when they normally would have, and you get off to an early start, go for the Vanguard, it's also received some buffs, and you're going to go ahead and pick up that Radiance. So Claude's 22 on his way to be a very, very strong carry, but as you talked about the Doom, the anti-carry, probably the best term for it. So we'll see what Whitebeard can get done this game. The King of Ember Spirit, that should be trending on Twitter if it's not already.
Wait, Whitebeard's the King of Ember Spirit? Really?
Yeah, they took out a game versus E-Hug in the JDL, like 82 minutes. I think he had some ridiculous amount of items.
Oh, I was watching that. He had like triple Divine Rapier.
Yeah, triple. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, tower trade's going on right now, so we should probably get back to that. The tier 2s get traded. Here's the Haunt by Spectre. A lot of teams are scared to do this, but you really should group. And that's the downside of grouping. You get caught in a big Dream Coil. 3 people snap the tether already. Now there's no counter initiation. Now there's no Haunt. And I guess they're going to go for the base race here. Tavo, of course, can TP back. Looking at Klotz 22, he does have a TP. They could maybe put the Visage Birds in position to cancel that TP. That would be a really next level play here by Exiled. He's going to get silenced up. Puck does have a Yule Scepter, going to unveil that there. Static going to be dropped. They're going to be able to take down the Puck. Doom out on over to King RD, retreating back into base. He's even going to get glimpsed forward, and I think they can kill him. They shouldn't really even bother. They should just get this tower, try to get the racks if they can, but they've got to be careful. As actually, maybe they don't, because they've got some more kills here. That's the Aegis. Let's not forget about that there. Denial has TP'd back. That's Exiled there, trying to deal with Tavo split pushing. He doesn't even have anything to really facilitate the split push. He might actually kill Exiled as well. He will kill Exiled, so now both racks exposed for both teams. Arrow coming in. Puck has gone down once more. Ned gonna drop. Buyback here from the Bane, switching to the buyback menu. We've seen a couple already. That's gonna be 4. 2, actually 3 for one team. 3 for Swag. So they've definitely got the worst end of this trade. Their melee racks has fallen. Dragon Fist will go down. He's been Fiend's Gripped. He falls into the mid lane. The tier 3 tower pretty much in deny range, essentially dead, but they have not lost their racks. So Swagenteiger, even with the team global strat, not getting the best trade
actually,
there.
Tavo going right back in. I'm not quite sure why he's doing that. Defect could just send him back right now, but he's saying, nope, we're going to kill you. You come in here, you come into our base, we want you dead, but he's actually invisible. They don't have any detection for him. Wow, he's got a Shadow Blade, and they got nothing. So he gets away scot-free, taking out the range racks. Didn't even need to TP in. His creeps were going to take it out for him, but he goes in, picks up the Visage, and so now there's the trade. It's a ranged racks for a melee racks, top and bottom, respectively. The melee, arguably the better end of the trade, but overall, They did end up getting another tier 3 tower. And, I mean, Swag have a lot of push power. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this game plays out. If Denial keeps grouping up for these 5-man pushes, then they're going to have to constantly worry about this Nature's Prophet, who's already showed how much of a pusher he can be, how much of a rat he can be. If they're going to 5-man, they got to be careful of what he's doing and keep track of him at all points in this game.
Yeah, I think my rash judgment there was actually incorrect. Sure, Swagenteiger, they use a lot more. They put 3 buybacks into that as opposed to just the 2. So, I mean, it was both teams put a lot of resources into that push. But you're going against a Nature's Prophet as well as a Spectre. I think trading racks in one of the lanes as well as exposing another one is going to be a very, very good trade for Swagenteiger, as unfortunately their puck going to get picked off there by Dragon Fist.
All right, I'm just reading through the chat, or at least trying to read through the chat. It seems like we got the same old group back in here, the same old lovely group that we always love to have. So shout out to all you guys supporting in the Twitch. If you like what you see, you can go over and buy the ticket and watch in-game, double your chances to find items. But on top of that, support this great organization, CEVO, putting out a lot of great games for you guys and many more to come in this Season 4. And yeah, follow the channel and all that jazz. We're going to go right back into the game. The bottom tier 2 will fall, and Whitebeard with the haste and the AC now, and not the caster. I'm talking about the item. This tower is going to melt.
Yeah, that is definitely something Denial can do. They can't just force the 5-man. They've got Tavo working away on the tier 2s for the side of Swag. He's taken that. All outer towers down for Denial, so I think they might even be pretty all in right now. A lot of buybacks on both sides. Whitebeard throws out a Doom. They're going to get another lane of racks if they want. They could even fall back and try to win another fight. Clot 22, they're only going to get stronger. They're going to bring him down immediately. And looking at his buyback status, he does not have any. An Impetus from Ned almost takes down the Doom. Looks like the Wrath of Nature going to do the trick. Dragon Fist going in for more. And I think Disruptor going to make the plays here. Double kill for Defect. Beautifully placed, but a double Dream Coil here by 40R. Going to get them both. It's an ultra kill for Tavo. Swagenteiger losing 3 and Denial completely wiped. But they did take out another melee Rax. And this ranged Rax is going to be going down pretty quickly.
There are 3 buybacks on the side of Denial. So if Nature's Prophet decides to TP up to the top lane and push, he will force the buybacks, but he won't be able to take any towers or any racks or anything like that. You know what he may want to do is do his best to get this lane pushed in and then try to force an issue onto the bottom racks. Maybe try to take that out, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to push fast enough. They don't even need to buy back on the side of Denial. They're going to have Visage, who's coming in full health versus the less than half health on Tavo. And this push isn't going to go anywhere. So a lot of troubles on the side of Denial right now. I'm on of Swag right now, as they're just trying to figure out how to push and where to go from here. They're down a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Denial, they don't want to delay this game any longer because it's only going to get harder to protect their exposed racks while they try to split push other lanes or just 5-man. So I think they're going to just group up as soon as they respawn and barrel down the mid lane for that final push, try to get the megas and then just sit tight. They've got some smart item choices. They've got the AC for the armor reduction. They've got the Desolator up on the Murano, so that's going to make their pushing even stronger. The BKB as well as the Orchid here for Dragon Fist on the Storm, so he can get that pick off on somebody to make the fight a little more uneven in favor of Denial. But they've got to watch out. There's a lot of big ultimates to slow everybody down. The Dream Coil, of course, the Static Storm. So we'll see what happens here as they're going to smoke up.
Yeah, this is a 5-man smoke. This is well, I mean, they don't have to go all in right now. They are sitting in a very good spot. But as you said, they do not want to delay this game. They're going to smoke actually into Roshan. This is going to be the next Aegis. No cheese yet. And they're probably just going to push straight up mid as it's already pushing in. They don't need to worry about top or bottom right now. 3 melee barracks is almost just as bad as full-on Mega Creep. So yeah, they're drawing the lines. They want to go straight in mid, and they want to end this game. I don't think they even have much care about Tavo split pushing, as he's got a Sheep Stick, which is good extra base damage for him, but he doesn't have anything else that pushes. So he is at a loss right now versus this 5-man push. And if a team fight gets won, a 4v5 team fight on the side of Denial, then Swag are pretty much out of this game.
Well, one Doom already thrown off. That one's onto the Puck right now, who does not have a buyback. Dragon Fist jumping in. He does have the Aegis, keep in mind, so he gets Fiend Grips. That has been wasted. The BKB and King RD also used, but Visage dropping on the backside of that. Disruptor, he didn't even get to ult. Whitebeard also going to fall. Dragon Fist now fighting for his life against everybody. Looks like he will hopefully take out Ned. He does indeed do that, but Denial a little overconfident. They walk straight into the base the last couple times, but they get shut down after taking that Aegis. So Swagenteiger very much alive in this game, which has become pretty ridiculous. The gold graph, 2,000 advantage for Denial in gold, 2,000 XP advantage for Swagenteiger. So dead even, really going to come down to who's got the buybacks available and who can win the team fights.
That was a complete shutdown. And, you know, Doom now doesn't have his buyback for 5 minutes. Almost everyone else does, save the Bane and the Enchantress, who are both on Swag. So if they don't make any mistakes right now, if they play this smart, I mean, Doom, if they can kill off the Doom, 5 minutes, he's out. Or with no buyback, whatever his countdown timer is. I'm not quite sure right now.
508.
He's level 16, so yeah, 16 times 4 is his countdown timer. But
you know you can look at it, right? Oh, you mean his buyback respawn time?
Yeah, his respawn time.
JK.
Oh, but then it's a little bit more, so it's a little bit more than that. Whatever. And what matters is that he's not going to be back for at least a minute. At least a minute if he goes down, which means that opens up a huge opportunity for Swag to push in. So one more team fight, one more quote-unquote throw from Denial, and I mean, Swag are still in this game, but if they continue playing smart, if they play conservative, bottom lane is going to constantly push, top lane is going to constantly push. They just need to apply pressure, keep starving the Spectre, which they're not doing effectively right now, and they'll slowly have this game handed to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, well, it's going to be hard to starve a Spectre when you're so worried about the split push potential. You've got your mid lane exposed. You've always got to keep pushing out the creep waves. They don't have a really big global presence themselves, so I think Denial essentially just going to go ahead and try to push into the mid lane one last time. And if this doesn't work, then I'm putting all my money on Swagenteiger for the remainder of this game. I
entirely believe that instead of dooming the Puck, Doom should go ahead and use that on Spectre. The Haunt is absolutely tearing them to shreds. I mean, with a Puck, a Dream Coil sucks. A Silence sucks, but a Doom on a Spectre is huge. And now they're going to go straight on in. The Doom gets used. No, it doesn't get used. He doesn't even get to use it. He gets silenced up. A lot of damage, though, going onto the side of Swag. They lose the Bane. Mirana falls. Whitebeard goes down. He uses the Doom on the Spectre, but entirely too late, getting silenced up first and foremost. The initiation from the Puck, spot on. And there you go, Denial. Pretty much losing another fight. They're going to lose the Storm Spirit now. He's got 0 mana. 41 is not going to be enough to get away. There he goes. You know, is that it?
Yeah, I think going into that fight, losing in the open like that, I was getting a little nervous with Klotz's decision making, just throwing out the haunts like that while they weren't even trying to push into the high ground. But it definitely worked out. If they can take the fight there, I think at this point Swagenteiger can just push into the base as a team and take the Megas, or at least get a lane of racks.
Mirana buys back, but Doom still can't. He's out for 35 seconds. They use the glyph. They want to delay this as much as possible. There's the silence to pulling out the Klotz, but he's doing a lot of damage as it stands. Here comes the impetus, killing off the Storm Spirit. Now a godlike for Tavo as he kills off the Mirana. Enchantress picking up, exiled there on the Visage. I think this is it. Game, set, match.
It looks to be that way. Defect dropping everything he has right now onto the Puck. He will get it. That's going to give the gem back. But while that's happening, I think they're losing the game at the moment. Going to be glimpsing him back. Klotz 22 over to safety. Just, you know, push the racks a little more efficiently with that glimpse. Unfortunately from Defect. Either way, definitely well played by both teams. We haven't seen the GG yet. The buyback, though, coming here from Defect on the Disruptor, I thought played quite well this game. I thought everyone in this game played pretty well. Just one of those awkward, really fast split pushing games where you make an early trade on the racks, and it's always going to favor the team with the Spectre as well as the Nature's Prophet.
I wouldn't say always. I think Denial had a very good window in there, but I think one of those team fights that just, they didn't play their positioning well, and they gave the Spectre, they gave the Nature's Prophet, and they gave the Puck a little bit too much leeway to work with. And yeah, Spectre and Nature's Prophet are going to make a lot out of a little leeway. I've seen a Nature's Prophet pull a game together that they were farther back than ahead 12 kills, so I mean, you give him leeway when he's ahead like this, and he's going to do wonders. So
CEVO had a pretty miserable game, though. He was 15 minutes, and he didn't even have his Midas yet, or at least 14 minutes. And then he got, I would even say, somewhat lucky. He got a triple kill off of a Wrath of Nature, and that put him right back in the game around the 15-20 minute mark. And it looks like they were able to take the Mega kill, or the Mega creep, excuse me, as, well, CEVO gets picked off there. It's a triple kill for Exiled on the Visage at the moment, but here comes Klotz22, essentially unstoppable, running in on all that good Spectral Dagger goodness. Gonna dodge that last attack with the Manta. I think Spectre's still gonna be able to catch up, though. It's actually the Dagger that's gonna get the kill. Now Whitebeard sprouted up. Klotz doesn't care about sprouts. And let's see, does Desolate work right now? I can't really tell.
I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to tell because the Visage familiars were close by, so it wouldn't have worked anyway, but...
A lot of the aggressive passives tend to work through Doom, whereas the passive passives don't, if that, Defensive passives tend to be disabled.
CEVO might fall to Whitebeard. No, Whitebeard, there's a brilliant Hex. No, he still might be able to get this kill. Does he have a level death? It's on cooldown. Oh, too bad. Mega Creeps going to work on the tier 4s, and Denial are denying their law. They're in denial about this game right now. To be perfect. I mean, I don't want to try. I don't want to BM, or I won't sound like I'm coming off like pessimistic, but what can they do?
I mean, to be honest, nothing. Hope that Swagenteiger throws themselves, or maybe Fountain Dives and messes up. I mean, it could happen. Sure, it's a
Mega Creeps. You just gotta hold them in the game, but for 10 seconds, and boom, all their towers are gone.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough, especially for that global lineup. But I mean, maybe one more shot if they get the chance to Hail Mary play it down the mid lane, and then as soon as they die doing that, or the throne just goes down, they're definitely going to call the GG. That Wrath of Nature doing work.
There they go. They've had enough.
Yeah. They're like, alright, PvE was fun for a little while, but we're not Chicago Ted, so we're bored.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta pick up the Medusa, man. Either way, that's the second item Klops has gotten in this game. I think
I saw a Korean guy got like 3 this game. Ridiculous, man.
And I didn't get anything. He didn't get anything. Either way, you know, we're casters. We get the joy of bringing this game to you.
No, I want items.
I like it. Statsman, shout out to Caesar. What is it?
I'm not sure. The Fen, I believe.
Well, whatever it is, we've got a Statsman. I'm going to have his name for you by the next game, just so I can shout out to him. Any other shout outs, Helium?
Not too much. Just make sure to check out CEVO.com, as well as purchase that in-game ticket. And if you're watching on the stream, big shout out to you guys. Twitch.tv/PlayCEVO1. Make sure to give it a